Guys, I literally think you know what this is. I think you wanna... No, you ain't got no misses. But listen, what you do have? A sports car. Tate McRae, stand up and get your crown. The way I've been listening to Tate McRae, like my life depends on it at the moment. And I did have to go through like a little bit of let's stop listening to Tate McRae every single day, because it's not really the give. Not that it's not the give, but it's like, let's expand our taste, you know? Can you taste that? It tastes like Tate McRae morning, noon, and night, bitch. Like, find another artist. So I haven't been listening to her for a second. And recently I've just been needing a boost, a confidence boost. And no one gives me a confidence boost better than Tate McRae. Like, I'm in the... Sorry. Jesus. Sorry. I'm in the shower and I'm listening to Miss Possessive World Tour set list. Like, yes, of course I am. And I'm making sure I'm listening to Blood on My Hands, Tate McRae featuring Flo Milli. I'm making sure I'm listening to Sports Car by Tate McRae. I'm making sure I'm listening to Dear God, because I feel like the only sexual being in that shower. I sure as hell do. And you know that when I'm in that shower, I pretend I am Miss Tate McRae. Yes. Look at the floral ceiling or anyone else you're feeling. Take home whoever walks in, but baby, keep your eyes off of him. Yes, I'm Miss Possessive. Pretty girl, you're going to learn your lesson. Some fights you're never going to win. Just keep your eyes off him. And she just doesn't have to say it twice. Like, listen to her the first damn time. Guys, welcome back to Self-Interrupted with Kit Costello. Yes, the rumors are true. I am your host, Kit Costello. This is the charting podcast, Self-Interrupted with Kit Costello. And I'd like to remind you, I think we're currently charting in Norway still. Thank you to the Norwegian fan base. Don't know who you are. Again, please DM me, let me know. Would love to know who's from Norway. Which I do ask, and I do get DMs. Someone DM'd me from South Korea the other day and was like, Kit, I literally listened to your podcast. That's the reason it's charting. One person. I love that, like, one person has to listen to the podcast and automatically it's on the charts in South Korea. Like, wait, what if 10 people did? We'd be number one. Guys, I'm just saying, like, if a couple of you maybe put the legwork in and move to South Korea, we could have a number one podcast in South Korea. But alas, we were number like 264 because one person listened. So maybe if you cared about the podcast that much, we could be number one. Guys, today's episode, we are just having a catch up. I feel like the past couple of episodes of the podcast have been a bit, tectonic would be the word, you know, like groundbreaking, tectonic, Mother Teresa coded in the way that I'm giving advice. But I think sometimes you do have to give Girl Next Door. And I do fear that I'm giving a bit Girl Next Door in my outfit today. If you're not watching the video episode, yes, I am wearing a hand-me-down sweater from my friend Emma. It's a knitted sweater. It's cropped, it's grey, it's Girl Next Door. I'm wearing light wash denim jeans. They're low rise, of course. Like, it's nothing special, but it's just Girl Next Door. Like, she's a girl that you'll walk past in the streets and be like, wow, that girl's above average height, but she's also so Girl Next Door. Like, there's something about her. Right. Guys, I really want to get back into wearing heels. Not that I ever wore heels, but like I used to wear heeled boots. But now I'm like, I feel like people are just going to be staring a bit too much. Like, I already don't like people looking at me. I have a whole thing about it. But the idea of wearing heels, it's kind of like, ooh, can we not talk about that? And it's the same with like dresses. I mean, this is kind of deep. There's something about like, I need to like get the confidence to wear dresses and like skirts and stuff. I just don't know if it's really my gift though, guys. I've got to be honest with you. I feel like there's such an interesting dichotomy of Kit Costello. Like, as soon as I transitioned, it was like, wait, but like, what if you were a tomboy? Like, wait, I thought I was transitioning to like express my femininity a bit more. But I think the more I transitioned, the more I felt comfortable with my transition, the more I felt comfortable just being the version of myself that I am, which is like low-key masculine vibes. Like, not masculine, but like just more tomboy. Like, she's a farm girl. What can you do? Anyway, yeah, this episode we're just doing a big fat catch up. I'm talking about certain things. I've been in London. There's been some TikTok drama going on, guys. Oh my god, like, this story is actually going to make you kick your feet and scream and laugh all at the same time. Like, it's honestly one of the stories of 2025 for me, and it will be going down in the KCCU history books, so you can look forward to that. I just have some things that I've been eating recently that I've been loving. I've been going out for drinks recently, which I've been loving, seeing some friends. The Summer I Turned Pretty finale happened. We have things to talk about. It's just going to be a long voice note from a friend. So if you're feeling particularly lonely, if you're just on a walk, if you're doing some work, listen to this episode. And also, guys, grab a damn tea. Like, whatever happened to grabbing a tea and a little biscuit and listening to the podcast? Not that you don't do that. Maybe some of you do. But grab a snack. I want you to know that whenever you get that notification for Self-Interrupted, it's snack time. I'm serious. Like, I want it to be like, I want it to be like a bit of a serotonin boost. You see the notification and it's not just like, oh my God, yeah, it's Kit Costello. Like, let's tap into her new episode. But it's also, oh my God, snack time. Oh my God, treat time. Like, I want a treat. So if you are listening, go and get yourself a treat. Let me know what treat that you would get. If I was listening to the podcast, what treat would I get? I love biscuits at the moment. I'm really into biscuits. So I would definitely have my Tesco gluten-free Millionaire shortbread biscuits that are coated in milk chocolate. Like, they are special. Anyway, let's get into this episode, which is just a big fat catch up. Let's get into it. So yes, I've been loving biscuits at the moment. Biscuits and me, we are kind of giving sisters, but like the best kind of relationship that you can have with a sister, you know? A relationship forged over love, not hate. Right. My routine at the moment, because you guys know I love a routine, is I have my biscuits at nighttime with my nighttime tea. Right, my Twinings, Sleepy Tea. I love my Sleepy Tea. Me and Sleepy Tea, we're sisters as well. Like, this is a big family. And I have 2 biscuits. Sometimes I dunk, which I have realized that dunking is not something that a lot of people do. I think it's just like a very British thing. Dunking is when you get your biscuit and you dip it in the tea. And then you have to calculate the perfect amount of time to where that biscuit is not going to melt in that tea. And you can pick it out and you can just eat that. Now, let me tell you a little story, because one thing about Kit Costello is that she's going to have a damn anecdote. So, if you don't know, I live on a farm. If you don't know, I don't work on the farm, because if you also don't know, manual labor is not really my give, right? My brothers always used to work on the farm when they were younger. During the summer, like, growing up on a farm, it's definitely, it's a special type of being brought up. You feel guilty for not working as like a 10-year-old during the summer when it should be your break from school. I didn't feel the guilt. My brothers did, because they were working during the summer as 10-year-olds. So I just go up to the farm office and I'd sit in the tea room, which is like the break room, where everyone would go when they're breaking from work. Now, me as a 10-year-old, I'd just go there to steal the biscuits. Classic. These men would be working their asses off all day, and they'd get into the tea room where the biscuits sat. Oh, Kit Costello's had them. Of course she has. I literally would sit in there when it wasn't tea time for the workers. I'd sit in there by myself and have like a whole pack of digestive biscuits with a tea that had, I'm not kidding, 6 sugars in it. Right. I didn't used to drink the tea. I used to just dunk the biscuits in it. And that is what my childhood summers looked like. My childhood summers were me running around the farm jobless, as it should have been because I was 10. But all my brothers were like working on the farm. It was coucou tous les mots. Anyway. And it also was laced with me probably about to go into like some type of anaphylactic shock, you know, caused by sugar intake. Like, there was something going on there. Like, what in God's green earth made me think that a whole packet of custard creams, digestive biscuits, and 8 sugars in a tea was actually okay? Can you tell that I'm the youngest sibling? One thing about me is I do think I give off youngest sibling energy, unfortunately for me, in the sense that like I'm very independent. And when I was younger, the amount of imaginary friends that I had, right? Can we not talk about that, actually? Why did you bring that up? Like, yeah, because I was just playing by myself because my brothers didn't want to speak to me. Right. So I was just like in my house playing with my toys. I used to get crazy though, guys. Like, my playtimes were dead serious. Like, that was Hollywood. Like, I was producing movies when I'm serious. I would be in my bedroom with my cuddly toys. Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh. I had a massive Eeyore cuddly plushie. She was always a victim of a crime. Bless her heart. In the little role plays that I'd make, she was always being pushed off the banisters on the stairs. She was falling down the stairs. She was being killed. I used to film them on my 3DS, my DSi, and my DS. I used to edit them together. Oh, yeah, no. My childhood was kind of almost like only child vibes. Like, the way no one would talk to me and I would just create cinema. And then it got to the point where we got a trampoline as a family. It was never the same. Like, the way I would pretend I was falling off a roof and fall on the trampoline and pretend, I don't know what I was going through as a child. Like, I was just desperate for some kind of like natural disaster to strike so that I could be the victim of it. Like, I don't know what was I on. Like, seriously, I'd be on the trampoline pretending that someone was like pushing me off a cliff and that I was like falling, and I just like but because the trampoline that we had like a net on it, and like fling myself side to side as if I was like falling down a staircase. And it gets to a point where it's like, oh, there's something we need to unpack here. Like, this child did need a little bit of therapy. You know, there was some kind of, you know, attention seeking that was going on. As a child, I was the attention seeker. Like, unfortunately for me, I did crave that attention. Like, during Christmas, I was doing performances for my family. I was standing on the sofa, I was giving performances. Also, I will say, actually, we used to have a VHS camera that my mum recorded all our home videos on. Like, my mum being a family vlogger, right? Looking back, can you imagine the home videos that you have that your parents took of you? Imagine them being on the internet forever. Like, that's what these poor kids that grow up with family vloggers have to deal with. Like, yes, it's cute, yes, it's sweet, and yes, I tap into some of them, but sometimes you do wonder, you're like, imagine if my home videos were just like public consumption. Like, it gets to a point, doesn't it? Like, imagine getting older and realizing that like some 13-year-old was making edits of you on TikTok and you were like an infant. Oh, right. Anyway, there were like home videos that my mum would take on this VHS camera. And I got to an age where I started to record on the VHS camera as well, because I was famously by myself a lot of the time. So I used to just like, you know, create music videos or something. Mind you, all the time I'd be recording, I would be overriding like family footage. Like, it would be like my mum giving birth to my brother, and it would be me like lip syncing to Kesha, right? And I literally remember there's a clip somewhere, a VHS clip of me lip syncing to This Place About to Blow by Kesha, right? And when I was younger, my brother found it, didn't tell me. And when all his friends were around, they sat around the TV and watched it on the TV in front of me. And I cried. And my mum went into the living room and sat down and watched it with them. She didn't even tell, I thought she was going to go, Lewis, how dare you put this on the TV screen? How dare you embarrass your little sister like this? Like, this is not good. But instead she sat down and she said, Kit, it's not that deep. Oh, and then it went from Kesha, This Place About to Blow. Mind you, no backing music. It's just me singing. It's me, right. It's me singing This Place About to Blow. It then went into Single Ladies, which famously, of course, is like a very easy song to sing because it's Beyonce, because Beyonce has a very like achievable vocal range. So there I am as like an 8-year-old. I was old enough. I was like an 8-year-old singing all the Single Ladies. And then I was singing like If I Were a Boy, which if we think about it now, being a little trans kid was a little bit, ooh, that's tough. Me as a little trans girl, not knowing that I'm a trans girl yet, singing If I Was a Boy, relating to it a little bit too much, right? Like, it just gets to a point where it's like, why was no one looking in on me? You know, like, why was no one just thinking, oh, maybe Kit isn't okay? Have we heard from Kit? Like, what's she doing? Yeah. Like, I was raised on my imagination and my Nintendo DS. Like, me and Nintendogs, guys, bring back... At Nintendo, where's Nintendogs? Where's the new installment of a 3DS? And where is Nintendogs? Because you're about to piss me off. Because Nintendogs needs to make a comeback pronto Bruno. But then also, Lego City Undercover, hands up who played that game. And if you played that game, I need you to DM me on Instagram, because we need to have a queen out. And I'm serious. If you're thinking, oh, she doesn't want to hear from me, I do. DM me. I need to talk to you about Lego City Undercover, because I felt like no one played that damn ass game and I was obsessed with it, like to a hellish extent. Me and Lego City Undercover, we were like this. I'm crossing my fingers for those that aren't listening. Sorry, for those that aren't watching. Like, that was the one sister that got me through. It was pitched as like Grand Theft Auto for kids, because it was like an open world. You could play. I'm such a nerd. If you don't know about this, I am probably like one of the biggest nerds that you know. And I'm not saying this to be like, oh, I'm so relatable, but like genuinely, I used to play hours of Minecraft when I was younger. And if I had my own gaming PC, I would be playing it now. The concept of me playing The Sims 3, like, honestly, thinking about it now, I actually might save up for a gaming computer, because the amount of joy The Sims 3 brought me when I was younger, and the thought of it right now, it's so personal. And that's what I love about video games. I'm sorry if you don't play video games, but like, think about anything from your childhood that brings you that kind of like wonder, that childhood wonder. Like, I could literally get emotional, guys. I'm literally high on estrogen. I could get emotional over anything. The concept of me playing The Sims 3 when I was younger, like, that was my family. I'm not even kidding. Like, I remember when this is so embarrassing, like, I'm literally about to cry. I remember when like one of my Sims would get pregnant, and I felt like a mother. I felt like mother of the bride. I was like, my child is about to give birth. And when she'd give birth, like, if you played The Sims 3, like, you know, like when your Sim was walking around, like, back arched, pregnant belly, wearing some randomized clothing because in The Sims, like, you couldn't control what they wore when they were pregnant. And when they were walking to the hospital and you were like anticipating whether it was going to be a boy or a girl, there was just so much beauty in that because it was like, oh my God, addition to the family. And if you played without cheating, sometimes you're a bit scared. You're like, we'll be able to afford this child? Like, ooh. We might have to make them sleep with the parents for a little bit. Like, there was just so much wonder in that. And then I felt like I got older and it's just like, it's stripped away from me. But I know that if I dived back into The Sims 3, I would feel that again. So I think I do need to have like a little Sims 3 day soon. There was a tradition for me recently where I would play it every Easter and every Christmas because it reminded me of playing it when I play it in like the school holidays during those times. And that gave me a childhood sense of wonder. I think it's really important actually as we get older to kind of tap into those moments. And if you are, I don't think there are any children listening to this podcast, but if there are, like, I'm speaking like under the age of 11. If you have anything that like excites you, hold on to that. And if you're older than that age, like of 11, and there's something that reminds you of that kind of childhood wonder, tap into it a little bit. Like, also buy those games that used to make you feel happy, because even though they might be a bit outdated, there's something in them that like really makes you feel like a little bit safe in a way. Like me playing The Sims, even in my 20s, I feel like, oh, there's like a feeling of like, oh, it's all going to be okay. I'm playing The Sims. I know that sounds so silly, but there's like beauty in that. But yes, all this stemmed from me saying that I like biscuits. Also at the moment, what I'm loving to do is, this is so rogue and maybe not that interesting at all, I'm on my gluten-free bread era right now, because famously I used to only eat like gluten-free bread during Christmas. It was like, because I don't really care for bread anyway, and I don't eat gluten. So like during Christmas, it was like, okay, well, it's like a fun thing. It's like a tradition for me. But now I started getting gluten-free bread, and I just literally, guys, I wake up in the morning and I have a slice of gluten-free toast with my coffee, and I look forward to it. Like I don't want to come on this podcast and be like, I'm so lame. I'm not like other girls. Like, I play The Sims and I eat toast. But seriously, I love a little slice of gluten-free toast in the morning with my black coffee, watching Gilmore Girls. This morning I had sweets. I sure as hell did. It was 5:30 in the morning. I had sweets, a slice of gluten-free bread, toasted, thank you, and my black coffee. And I queened the hell out, right? I also want to say how proud I am with this podcast. And I feel like I always blow smoke up my ass. I love this podcast so damn much. Sometimes I listen back to episodes and I'm like, this is so good. This podcast is so good. I'm sorry. Like, for what it is, which is just me rambling, I think it's a giggle. Like, it's just a bit of a giggle, you know? It's just for the girls. Like, and I'm just so proud of the community that I've built. Sometimes I do fear that, like, I'm not, like, in touch with you guys as much as I was in, like, previous seasons, and I apologize for that. But, like, I really do love you guys. Like, I love this podcast so much. I'm so proud of the aesthetic of this season. This season is coming to an end soon. And even though I feel like this season has been a bit struggle bus for reasons I'll get into, there's, like, a fondness to the season because I feel like this is the season that I've grown the most. Like, I remember previous seasons of the podcast, I was wishing that I was in the position that I am now, whether that's, you know, dating, transitioning. Like, this is the first season where I've been, like, on estrogen. Like, it's crazy, you know? The first season where I've been living my life as a transgender woman openly. And there are so many complexities that have come with that, which is why I felt like this season's felt a little bit turbulent for me. Whether that's me like living in my friend's house for like a few weeks to kind of have like my own headspace, and I was recording episodes there. Whether I was like recording episodes in a field somewhere. I don't know. I feel like this season's been a bit all over the place, but I think it's one that I'll definitely look back on with great fondness because, like I've said previously, these seasons aren't just numbers to me. They're literally my life. Like, this is a season of my life that I'll look back on, and they're color coded. Like, this is a black and white season of my life, not because it's bad, but just because it's the black and white season of the podcast. Like, when I look back at season 4, that season, if you don't know, was like blue. That was the color of the season. And when I look back at the video episodes on like the YouTube channel, I know it's just like a different vibe. Like, I feel like I've grown so much, and I've grown on this podcast, which is what I love. And sometimes I think on this podcast, I'm very, how you say, right. I definitely, there's not many boundaries that I have on this podcast. I think I've learned this season to have a few more boundaries, and understanding of what I want to talk about and what I don't want to talk about. But there are very few, and in some ways I quite like that because I am just brutally honest. And if anything, I bloody love it when you guys come up to me in the street and you're like, I love your podcast. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but when it does happen, it happens. And I'm like, oh, I could be their best friend. Like, if you listen to this podcast, we genuinely would get on in real life because you are listening to the most unfiltered version of me. This is what I love to do. And going back to the trans stuff, like, it has brought up complexities in this season because it's just like, there are so many complexities that come with being trans, whether that's like visually not feeling good enough about yourself or sounding good enough, sounding women enough, or like feminine enough, whatever that means. But when you're trans, there are like these voices in your head that tell you you're not good enough. So it's been hard in that way, and it's been growing in that way. And yeah, I mean, I'm very proud to be trans and to document something else. Tomorrow, I get my first testosterone blocker shot, which is very exciting. And I'm sure I'll look back at this episode in years to come and be like, oh my God, like that was the day before I got my first testosterone blocker shot. And that's major. And the testosterone blocker shot just blocks the testosterone, so the estrogen that I'm taking can benefit me as much as possible. And it's just really exciting. Like, these are really exciting moments of my life that are literally life-changing, that I'm so privileged to be experiencing because there's so much wrong going on in the world regarding trans women and trans people. And I want you to know that if you're trans or if you're queer and you listen to this podcast, I hope that you know it's a safe space and this is your space, and that I'm always here for you because it's a very scary time. And I do also want you to know that this is a space that you can kind of come to and you can think about something other than being trans or being queer, because that is part of your identity, but it's not all of you, you know? And I think that's the beauty of being trans and queer, is that like we are so many different things. We hold so many different facets of life and we get to express those in so many different ways. And I hope that watching and listening to me as a trans woman, you can understand that like that's not all I talk about. You know, like I really do just talk about my life. I talk about the ups and the downs, much like any other podcaster would do. And I think that there's beauty in me sharing my life experience, especially at this time politically and in society where trans people are being demonized. Me coming on a microphone and just speaking about my weekly Tesco shop is how I respond to that, because it's me just letting them know and you know that I live a very mundane life off of the camera. Like I go about my life day to day, walking to the shops, living my damn life. I don't think twice about being trans when I'm by myself. Of course, when I'm out in the streets, that privilege is stripped away from me because as trans women, we don't have that privilege. We don't have the privileges of just being able to walk down the street and feeling comfortable, because I am a bit scared now. And I talked about it last episode, the transphobia that I was met with recently. It has shaken me up quite a lot, and it has given me insecurities, and I'd be lying if I said that it didn't. You know, I every look that I get in the street now, I think of it differently, and the way that people have been looking at me recently, I have been taking into account a lot more than I normally do. It's been Fashion Week, so I've been in London quite a lot for castings. London Fashion Week's actually been and gone. I didn't get any jobs, but I was doing castings and stuff, and I did notice people looking at me a lot more than I would, because I mean during Fashion Week I'm literally wearing barely anything and I'm like running around and I just look very tall. And you know, I think the insecurities definitely have arisen since I have experienced some of that transphobia, but it's something I'm learning and it's something that I want to be open and honest about, because again, I don't want to just put forward that I'm always so confident and I'm always like looking down at the haters or whatever. Like there are times where I feel very insecure and I feel very vulnerable, and I think more than ever I do feel that way at the moment. But I'm very lucky to have people in my life that reassure me and that make me feel very seen and safe. And I want you to know that if you're trans or if you're queer, that's what you should be prioritizing as much as you possibly can. Finding queer friends, finding people that understand you, and really doing yourself the honor of putting yourself first. If there are people in your life that don't understand you and that don't want to understand you, they shouldn't be in your life. And you shouldn't be giving them your energy, you know, to make them understand you. It's not something that you should have to do. And I'm so proud that I have friends that do understand me, that do love me. I love my friends so much. So if you're my friend in real life and you're listening to this, I love you. You're an icon. Right. Speaking about being trans, guys, let's get onto the TikTok story that I wanted to tell you about, because Jesus Christ. Buckle in, because this is actually kind of cuckoo to lemon. If you don't know, I have a TikTok account called Kit Cost Smello, and it's my spam account. Originally, it was intended for me to just post multiple times a day, my thoughts, and just have a giggle. it then kind of turned into me talking about being trans. When certain things in the UK government happened, I was talking about them. Then those videos kind of gained traction. And then I noticed that like the only time videos would gain traction is when I was talking about being trans. So I was like, okay, this is a great outlet for me to talk about being trans. I'll use it for that. Then I started making these videos, and I started a series where I responded to transphobic comments with a video, and I would make the video 1 minute long so that I could monetize off of it, so that I could use the money from that video to buy my estrogen, which, if you don't know, is a drug that transgender women sometimes take to feminize. So I started this series where I do that. I respond to the comments, I make the money, I buy the estrogen. These TikTok comments, they're like faceless accounts, and a lot of the time, you know, these transphobic comments don't get to me at all. Like, it's like, you're a man, and I'm like, okay, work, I'll make money off this comment. You know, I've been doing these videos for a couple of months now, and they've been gaining quite a lot of attention recently, and there was this comment that I found. I have to go way back to like an old video to find transphobic comments now because I barely get any, but I went to this video, found this transphobic comment by this woman, and I noticed that she had a public profile, and I don't normally, you know, roast public profiles when I'm doing these videos. I normally just like say that, you know, hey, this is a comment that I got, let's make money off of it. But this time, for some reason, I was like, I'm gonna roast this TikToker because she was a TikToker and she had a public profile and she left a transphobic comment, so it felt warranted. So I make the video, I'm like, hey guys, please interact with this video so that I can make money off this transphobic comment. Also, this person is a TikToker, so let's do a deep dive. And I basically read this TikToker. I I said what I wanted to say. Let's just say that. I was talking about how they wanted to be a fashionista and how they wouldn't know fashion if it slapped them around the face. I was kind of, I was saying bits and pieces. I posted the video and I quickly realized that it's gaining a lot of attention. Like, 200,000 views in like less than a few hours type of attention. Like, if I'd left this video up, and I didn't, we'll go into that in a second. If I left this video up, it'd be at millions of views right now. It's looking good for me because obviously I make the money from these videos and it's great for me to have that money to buy my estrogen. It's great. I go to bed and there's just like, I have a gut feeling. And recently, like I've mentioned in the previous episode, my friend Emma did a tarot card reading on me. And the tarot card reading said that I should follow my intuition, which is something that I've been feeling a lot recently. And I really felt my intuition was saying there's something wrong with that video. Something's not right. But I went to bed and I was like, no, okay, you're fine. For some reason, I wake up at 2 a.m. Don't ask why. I wake up at 2 a.m. and I'm like, let me just check this video. And like I said, it has like 200,000 views, thousands and tens of thousands of likes, shares, reposts, etc. And I look at the comments and it's people being like, she's an influencer. This is her Instagram account. Everyone go and comment on her Instagram. And I'm like, oh my God, no, this is not why I do these videos. Like, I don't want any hate to be spouted from these videos. And all the comments were like, this is her business. And I was like, huh? You found this woman's business? So I was like, this is not okay. This is not what I want. This is not good. As I opened my phone in the morning, like, before I went onto TikTok, I noticed I had an email and I was like, oh, that's weird. I got an email at like 11:45 at night. So I'm looking through the comments and I'm like, oh, that's so weird. The email was from this, the email's from the woman that I made the video about. So I go onto the email and it's this woman. The email said, hi, so my account got impersonated on TikTok and commented something transphobic under one of your videos. You made a video about it and now everyone thinks that I left the transphobic comment when I didn't. And now all of these people from your video are coming over to my Instagram and my business saying that I'm transphobic when I'm not because someone impersonated me and uploaded TikTok videos. That's not me. That's someone that's impersonated me. Guys, I'm not kidding. My heart sank. You don't even understand. I was in bed at 2 a.m. spiraling. I literally was like, this woman's about to sue me. Like, guys, do you like how I pause for laughter sometimes? Sometimes I'm on this podcast and I like pause for laughter. And I also pause for a reaction. Like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I know their jaws are on the floor right now. They're having a little giggle. I need to give them time. So, right. So this woman, let's get this straight. This poor woman from Ireland is just, she has her business on Instagram, not on TikTok, on Instagram. She's a little fashionista. Someone impersonated her Instagram account on TikTok, uploaded all of her Instagram videos onto TikTok, gained a following, then for some reason started commenting transphobic abuse under my videos. I then made a video saying that she doesn't know anything about fashion sense. And then the followers from that account went over to her Instagram and her business called her transphobic, and it had nothing to do with her. Oh, okay. Oh, right. So, question for culture, does that make me a bad person? Because, no, I was spiraling. I was like, I feel awful. I feel like the worst person alive right now. Genuinely, I don't think that there's the worst person in the world. This poor woman from Ireland that's just trying to make a living is caught in the middle of a transphobic onslaught. Like, oh, right. Okay. So obviously I deleted the video pretty quickly. I sent 2 emails at 2 a.m. profusely apologizing for saying that she wouldn't know fashion if it slapped her around the face. And also for so many people going over to her videos and commenting that, you know, she shouldn't be a transphobe and that, like, you know, guys, she had to release a public statement. It's not funny. Like, it's not fun. It's really bad. It's really bad. And it got to a point where I was like, oh. So if that lady is listening, I do want you to know that I'm not taking this as a joke. Like, it is very serious to me. But I couldn't not tell the Kittenators. I couldn't not keep them in the loop. And I hope that everything's going well. I did get back to her and I was like, if you need any help on taking the account down, not that I could help you in that way, but just sending you like screenshots and stuff. It's quite a nice little like meet cute. I mean, maybe not for her, but for me it's kind of like, oh, like, yes, this is sisterhood. Like, yeah, of course I'm gonna help you out. I mean, in the email she wasn't like saying I'm not transphobic. It wasn't anything like, so I don't know. I'm not saying that she is, but I'm just saying like I could have, I'm so sorry about the transphobia. It was the transphobia wasn't addressed, you know. God, I read her in that video as well. Like, it's really bad. I was like, if you guys want to look like a transphobe, just look like this woman. It was bad. It was bad. But I think, yeah, I think we burnt that bridge. So maybe I'm not going to be going, you know, to her house anytime soon. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been dealing with for the past like couple days. Just a little bit of guilt from sending a lot of like trans people to this woman's page. But I didn't send. Okay, actually, I will say I didn't condone that. And I also put on my story, I was like, on my TikTok story, I was like, I don't condone you sending hate. Like, that's not your job. Like, I make those videos as a bit of a giggle. I don't like when, I think it kind of ruins the fun, to be honest, of those videos when people then are like, oh, we're going to ruin someone's livelihood. Like, I don't know. I kind of have mixed feelings about it. Obviously, if, I don't know, I still don't think it's appropriate, to be honest. Like, I think me reading her, it's kind of like personal. It's like a personal matter. Like, I don't know. But then again, it is like a public platform. I guess people can do what they want, but then it makes me look bad. Like, it makes me look as though I've wanted that to happen when that's not the case at all. I think even if she was transphobic and that was her intention, I probably would have felt very uncomfortable keeping that video up, knowing that people were like destroying someone's business. I don't know. I think that's just like a little bit, ugh, that's like sticky. Like, that's not my intention with those videos. My intention is actually to make money and buy my estrogen. Anyway, what else has been going on? Let's switch the subject real quick. Okay, London Fashion Week castings. Yes, I had London Fashion Week castings this week. I had castings in 2 locations, but altogether it was like 12 castings for London Fashion Week, and I got no jobs. Yes, hey, which is gorgeous. I would have loved to do more castings, so I really want to enter my like supermodel era. Like, it's starting to piss me off a little bit now. If anyone from my agency is listening, let's tap in, guys. Let's clock in to making Kit Costello a supermodel in 2025, but we only have a few months left. Like, at least a little editorial would be gorgeous. I did the London Fashion Week castings. They went pretty well. I mean, for the first couple of castings, I'm always a little bit like Bambi in those heels. Like, I am like giving a little bit like, ooh, I don't know how to walk in them. But a top tip for my models out there, walk slow in a casting. You always go into it thinking you have to give fierce. And then they're always saying like, oh, can you walk a bit slower? But walking slower actually allows you to appreciate the walk that you give them. In heels, walking slow is easier. So I did want to talk about this guy. Girls, hold my hand. Let's breathe for a second, please. Breathing in. Breathing out. Guys, there was an absolute dickhead at the castings. He was insane. Like, genuinely. So he was giving like influencer model, and it's no shade to an influencer model. But he was not Yeah, no. He was American. Red flag number one. No shade to my Americans out there, but when you have an obnoxious American, it's a different type of breed of American. Like it's bad. He was also a man. Classic. And he was just hashtag dickhead vibes. He was. And dickhead to the point where like it was me and the girls, classic. One thing I love about castings is like that's sisterhood. When you're in the casting line, you will form sisterhoods and never speak to them again until you see them at a show. So I was with my sisters, newly found, and behind me there was a group of boys. And when they're like younger boys at casting, I always feel very parental because ironically, I see myself when I was a boy and I was going to Fashion Week castings. I would say these boys were probably like a bit younger than me. So I always see like younger boys that are like 21, 22, 20. I see them as like my younger cousins because I have a young cousin who's that age. There was this like American guy who was hashtag dickhead vibes and he was so obnoxious. It was genuinely like a skit. I was like, he can't be serious. He was like, yeah, dude, like I just got back from when you do castings in New York, it's so crazy. And I was like, oh, we get it. Like you've been in New York. And also note that you said castings and not shows. Like I see that you didn't get booked for any shows in New York, no shade. And then he was like, yeah, like I just came back from Dubai Fashion Week. And I was like, right, that's not a flex. Like hands up who's heard of Dubai Fashion Week, right? Right, exactly. And he was like, yeah, like it's really special. Like I was one of the only models. And I was like, yeah, because you're probably one of the only models they booked. And then this is what really grinded my gears. He was holding like a fizzy drink and he was like trying to look at something on his phone and he gave the fizzy drink to like a younger model. He was like, you hold that. And then the younger model was like, what? And then he was like, I just like you holding my things. I was like, these Americans, like, I did want to turn around and confront him, but I was also like, it's just not the place. And also, like, it's going to get nasty. Like, if I confronted him, I know that his ego would not be able to take it. So then I'd have to, like, double down and be, like, a little bit of a BITC bitch. But yeah, castings were done. I had, like, 9 at this one location. And then I had a casting for, like, bigger brands, like Comme des Garçons, which was cool. I think it was for Paris, though. Like, they invite me to that casting every year, but I never get it. I was close to getting it last year, but then they didn't want me. But then this year they were very much like, no, you're not the give. And I was like, okay, great. Love that. But yes. So yes, there was Fashion Week, there was Dickhead at the casting, coffee shop, iced Americano, thank you so much. I went and got that after the Fashion Week casting. And then I came home and my friend Moya and I watched the final episode of The Summer I Turned Pretty. Moya lives in Paris, which if you don't know, the finale was set in Paris. So it was very like, it was great for her. We were live texting. We like hit play at the same time in live text, which is just so girlhood coded. And it was a giggle. Like almost preferred that to like FaceTiming because one thing about me is that I grew up on Twitter. I know how to make a hit tweet and I was on fire. Like I was doing my little, my little comments. I was texting her, making her giggle a little bit and she was doing the same for me. And I won't spoil The Summer I Turned Pretty because I know that some of you maybe haven't watched the finale, but it was cute. It was cute. It wasn't drop dead gorgeous, but it was cute. I was going to say it made me want to go back to Paris. It actually didn't. Like I don't really care for Paris that much. And it's no shade to any of my Parisians out there, but like Paris is very London to me. Like I like her, but I don't like whenever I've been in Paris, it's either visiting Moya or I'm there for work. So it just feels like it feels like a home. It feels like home to me. Like I'm not going to the Eiffel Tower. I'm not tourist vibes. Like I'm so local. Like I'm just so local coded. Like of course I'm going to the Monoprix. Me and the Monoprix we're literally like this. Again, my fingers are crossed like to symbolize our closeness. Like when Belly mentioned the Monoprix in The Summer I Turned Pretty, Moini and I literally like at the same time texted Monoprix mention because me and the Monoprix were like close. Like that's my sister. Like it is my safe space. Like if say I'm like in Paris and I can't check into my Airbnb until like 3 and I'm there at 12, I will just be around the Monoprix for like 3 hours. It's basically like a big Tesco in Paris. I love the Monoprix. They also have great gluten-free snacks as well. Love her. I do feel like a Paris trip pending at the moment. Like I do want to go there, but it's Paris Fashion Week at the moment and I don't want to be there for that. So after that. This week I went out for a curry. Guys, I love curry. Hands up who loves curry. I love curry. Went out for a curry. It was so yummy. I had okra fries. I had paneer curry, which was really yummy. And I love South Asian food. I think it's just so special. And I also had red wine, but I had chilled red wine. Guys, tap into chilled red wine every now and then. Like I don't like red wine. Wine really isn't my choice of drink, to be honest, because I just think it's a bit too expensive for what it is, if I'm going to be honest. Like, a glass of wine being like £8, like, you've got to be fooling me. Like, don't be silly. I'm always going to get that pint of Guinness because you get what you're given. You know, it's a big pint of Guinness, it fills you up. But a glass of wine, although it's chic, it's expensive. But we had red wine and it was chilled. And I loved the chilledness of the red wine. And it made it go down so much nicer. It was yummy. It was nice. It was enjoyed. I did get a little bit tipsy. I got an Uber all the way back home, drunk in the Uber. One thing about me, it will be 1 a.m. I'm dropped home in the Uber on the farm, and I will just walk around the farm. I'll walk around the farm a little bit, taking a few photos. Like, I cried because I was taking photos of a willow tree outside the farm. And I just started crying because I was like, oh my God, this tree has watched me grow up. Like, I used to climb this tree when I was younger. Like, I wonder if she's proud of me. Like, that's literally like what my head was thinking. Wait, that's what I was thinking in my head when I was drunk. Okay, up next, final last points, Dyson Airwrap. Guys, give it up for the Dyson Airwrap. I'm starting to understand how to use her. Thank you so much, Dyson Airwrap, for looking after my hair. Not that you guys sent me a Dyson Airwrap, but more so that, like, I'm just thanking the product because my hair already feels healthier. I did spend £64 on hair care products the other day, guys. I don't want to talk about it. That's a hair mask, shampoo, conditioner, and another shampoo. £64. Oh, right. Well, can we not talk about that? But I am looking after my hair, and if any of my hair team are listening, I hope that you heard that, right? Up next, guys, you guys know I love my coffee shop. My coffee shop in North London, my local, that's family to me. They're pissing me off. PISSINGing me off. I will tell you why. They are starting to play pop hits in the cafe and it's pissing me off. A coffee shop is not where you play the pop hits. It's where you play Snoopy jazz music, YouTube, 4 to 6 hour loop. Okay? You're not playing Ariana Grande Break Free. You're not playing The Weeknd, I Can't Feel My Face. Baby, I'm trying to write in my Paper Republic journal. What part of me makes you think that I want to be listening to Uptown Funk's You Up? You know, like, it just gets to a point. But the only reason I went there the other day is because I had a free coffee, because I had enough stamps. And I was like, this might be the last time I come to this cafe because you guys are starting to piss me off a little bit. So for my final drink at that coffee shop, this is crazy. This is the end of an era. I have to find a new local coffee shop. If you live in London and you have a favorite coffee shop in like North London or East London, let me know. But I'm really upset because I love that coffee shop. But for my final drink, I had a pumpkin spice latte, which is different from my black Americano. But I wanted to get something that was more expensive than a black Americano because I was getting it for free. Reminder, it was a free coffee. But yeah, I finished up at my coffee shop in North London, and I don't know if I'll be going back there anytime soon, unless they change that playlist. After I got my free coffee, my friend Moya was actually in London yesterday, so I went to see her for a drink. We went to a little bar with her friend as well, and we were just sitting down, and I got an old fashioned. Guys, what do you know about an old fashioned? It's a whiskey, but it was like very sweet, and it was so, yeah, I felt so mature. I was like, this is self-employment final boss. Like, yeah, it was 5:30, and I was having an old fashioned with my two friends outside of a wine bar. Like, yes, unemployment. Then, okay, what else? That's kind of it. That's all that's been going on recently. Yeah, it's getting colder. Not to like weather chat you guys, but it is getting colder. I am in the market for some fluffy socks. So if any of you guys have fluffy sock recs, please do let me know. But other than that, that's all I've really been getting up to recently. I feel like this has been a really lovely episode. I love episodes like this. It reminds me why I love having a podcast, because it's literally just me talking and having a little giggle with you guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Let's now get into the vinyl of the week and the recommendation of the week. The vinyl of the week this week is Addison by Addison Rae. I love this album so much. I got it on vinyl the other day. I got my vinyl from a company called Bad World, I think it is. It's an exclusive pressing that has pink liquid inside the vinyl. It's pretty cool. But due to this vinyl arriving, I decided to give the album a listen, and it's just such a classic, an instant classic, Addison, actually. I love New York. I love Cry in the Rain, I think it's called. I love Times Like These, Diet Pepsi, Aquamarine, Headphones On. Like, honestly, such a great album. I was about to say stellar album. Like, okay. Okay, stellar album. But yeah, that is the vinyl of the week. The recommendation of the week is curry. Guys, tap into curry. I'm talking, I don't know if dal is actually considered curry or it's something separate. Okay, right. So maybe let's tap into a vegetable masala. Let's tap into a paneer kind of curry vibe. Let's tap into a dal. And let's tap into like the side dishes. Let's tap into some poppadom. Let's tap into pashwari naan. My goodness. Sagaloo, sag paneer. Oh my God, stop. That's the recommendation of the week. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Self Interrupted. If you have, please make sure to rate the episode on Spotify, leave a written review on Apple Podcast. It really helps me out. You can follow me personally at kit.costello on Instagram and on TikTok. You can follow the podcast on Self Interrupted Pod on Instagram and on TikTok. You can follow the Substack where I release weekly essays at Self Interrupted with Kit Costello on Substack. But other than that, I'm sending you so much love. As always, Kit.